Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber Podcast. Each episode brings you timely insights, expert analysis, and actionable intelligence to keep you ahead in the ever-changing world of cybersecurity. Subscribe to the newsletter at baremetalcyber.com to stay connected. And don't forget to visit cyberauthor.me, your one-stop destination for a wide collection of bestseller cybersecurity books. Equip yourself with knowledge from industry experts and stay ahead of the threats. Let's get started with today's topic. Control plus Alt plus exhausted, the hidden cost of SOC automation. Security Operations Centers, SOCs, stand as the digital frontline of cybersecurity, relentlessly defending organizations against an endless wave of cyber threats. But beneath this tireless vigilance, burnout is quietly eroding analyst morale, effectiveness, and retention. While automation promises to relieve these stresses, often it inadvertently compounds them, creating new frustrations that exhaust analysts even further. This chapter explores the paradoxical nature of SOC automation, revealing how careful integration of human insight with technological efficiency is the key to rebooting resilience and creating a healthier, more sustainable cybersecurity workforce. The burnout equation, why SOCs are under siege. Imagine signing up for a job that has no clear beginning or end to your day, a role where the concept of clocking out is about as real as a unicorn riding a hoverboard. Welcome to life in the Security Operations Center, SOC, where operations hum along 24/7 with absolutely no off switch. Analysts constantly navigate through an endless tsunami of alerts, each ping stealing away a small sliver of their sanity. The relentless flood of signals doesn't just erode attention spans, it obliterates them entirely, turning even the sharpest minds into exhausted, caffeine-dependent zombies. This non-stop tempo isn't just inconvenient, it wreaks havoc on sleep cycles, as analysts rotate through shifts that defy natural circadian rhythms. Night becomes day, day becomes an espresso-fueled blur, and sleep disruption evolves from an occasional nuisance into a persistent health hazard. Holidays and weekends? Forget about it. In the SOC universe, downtime is mythical, reserved for fairy tales or HR pamphlets. Analysts find themselves glued to screens at Thanksgiving dinner or sneaking away from birthday parties, driven by the nagging fear of missing a critical signal that could lead to the next headline-grabbing breach. Beyond the relentless hours, SOC teams face a talent drain that's becoming impossible to ignore. Mid-level analysts, those unsung heroes holding institutional knowledge and invaluable experience, are leaving in droves, often fleeing for jobs offering saner hours and clearer advancement opportunities. Meanwhile, fresh hires pour in brimming with enthusiasm, but woefully lacking in real-world readiness. Universities may crank out graduates well-versed in theory, but few come battle-ready, prepared to withstand the stress of daily cyber attacks without months of intensive, costly on-the-job training. Companies respond with flashy retention perks, think ping-pong tables, free pizza Fridays, or quirky office decor, but miss the point entirely. Analysts crave meaningful growth, clear career paths, and genuine acknowledgement, not another casual jeans day or a company-branded stress ball. Promotion paths remain hazy at best, and at worst non-existent, leaving ambitious analysts uncertain of their futures and fueling their decisions to leave. As these experienced team members walk out the door, they take with them irreplaceable tribal knowledge, the intuitive wisdom of recognizing patterns, threats, and anomalies that newer analysts simply haven't yet developed. Compounding these challenges is the epidemic of alert fatigue, a condition nearly universal across SOC teams. Thousands of alerts bombard analysts every day, yet only a minuscule fraction represent actual threats. This constant sifting process forces analysts into a twisted game of Where's Waldo, only far less enjoyable and with much higher stakes. False positives, the equivalent of digital red herrings, pile up, fueling frustration and creating a scenario in which genuine threats risk going unnoticed because analysts' eyes have glazed over after hours of chasing ghosts. Ironically, the very tools designed to ease SOC burdens often amplify the chaos. Vendors promise streamlined interfaces, intuitive workflows, and AI-powered insights, but too often analysts end up with cluttered screens and unintuitive dashboards. Each new tool adds another layer of complexity, with analysts left jumping between incompatible consoles, trying desperately to piece together meaningful intelligence. Analysts become caught in a paradox. They're continuously pressured to detect every genuine threat, yet they're buried beneath software that obscures rather than clarifies the information they need most. Exacerbating these operational challenges is a workplace culture steeped in toxic heroism. Overwork isn't just tolerated in many SOC environments, it's celebrated as a badge of honor, worn proudly by those willing to sacrifice sleep, family time, and personal well-being. Analysts who express exhaustion or ask for support often encounter subtle or overt shaming, reinforcing a harmful norm where resilience is synonymous with suffering silently. Teams cheer loudest for those who battle through late nights, weekends, and holidays, inadvertently encouraging the firefighting mentality over thoughtful, strategic threat prevention. Underpinning this cultural toxicity is a tangled web of technological debt and tool sprawl. Analysts frequently juggle multiple dashboards, none of which integrate fully, forcing constant context switching that burns mental bandwidth. Legacy systems, those outdated relics that stubbornly refuse to die, continue running critical workflows, trapping analysts in manual tasks that automation promised to eliminate years ago. Half-implemented SIEM platforms compound frustration, demanding manual workarounds, ad hoc scripting, and late-night troubleshooting sessions to keep operations afloat. The security stack itself begins to resemble Frankenstein's monster, patchworked, unwieldy, and desperately in need of overhaul, yet too complex and costly to fix. This chaotic environment ensures analysts remain perpetually bogged down in repetitive manual work that should have been automated long ago. Instead of leveraging automation for deeper threat hunting, analysts spend their days copy-pasting between consoles, manually correlating logs, and performing tasks a well-designed automation system would seamlessly handle. The promised efficiency of automation becomes another cruel joke, adding insult to injury as analysts grapple with burnout symptoms that are steadily becoming the norm rather than the exception. Automation to the rescue? Not so fast. Automation often enters the Security Operations Center, SOC, with the grand promise of delivering relief from monotonous tasks, a futuristic ally ready to vanquish endless alert triage. SOC teams dream of automation as a sort of digital superhero, automating repetitive investigations, standardizing workflows from ticket creation to resolution, and empowering analysts to reclaim precious time. AI-driven tools boast impressive capabilities like playbooks that handle basic alerts, thus freeing human analysts to tackle more significant threats. In theory, analysts become cyber detectives instead of cyber janitors, focusing their human creativity on high-priority threats, while the bots sweep away digital clutter. However, this utopian vision requires careful balance. The true power of automation in the SOC lies not in replacement, but in cognitive offloading, using tech to clear mental bandwidth for more complex problem-solving. Effective SOC automation provides decision support rather than decision substitution, aiding analysts by enriching alerts with contextual data and reducing the mental gymnastics associated with bouncing between consoles. Automated summaries speed up handoffs between shifts, preserving analyst energy and focus, creating a collaborative environment where machines and humans complement rather than compete with each other. Yet automation has a darker side that sneaks up subtly: automation-induced apathy. Analysts, particularly those newer to the field, may find themselves increasingly relying on automated tools to make critical judgment calls. Over time, junior analysts risk becoming de-skilled, their expertise reduced to merely clicking buttons and trusting an algorithm's verdict without genuine comprehension. This creeping click-and-forget syndrome can atrophy critical thinking, causing analysts to lose their edge in evaluating threats. Blind trust in technology gradually erodes the intellectual agility essential to cybersecurity, leading to complacency and weakened human judgment. This complacency intensifies when automation goes astray due to misconfigurations and misunderstanding. Poorly tuned playbooks sometimes trigger misguided actions, generating unnecessary alarms and wasting valuable analyst time. Automation rules based on flawed logic can cause havoc, amplifying false positives and distracting from genuine threats. Often, inadequate testing before deploying automation into production results in costly errors, forcing analysts into emergency mode to contain the damage. Furthermore, developers tasked with building these tools often operate disconnected from the daily realities of SOC workflows, creating solutions that look great on paper but fail disastrously under real-world conditions. The set-and-forget culture surrounding these automation platforms further compounds these issues as continuous monitoring and quality control take a backseat to convenience. Adding insult to injury, the complexity brought by automation itself can become a significant contributor to analyst burnout. Each new automated tool introduces another steep learning curve, overwhelming already stretched analysts with endless new interfaces and terminologies. Instead of saving time, analysts frequently find themselves deep in the weeds, troubleshooting automation issues instead of managing alerts. Layers of incompatible technologies stack upon each other, adding cognitive load rather than reducing it, leaving analysts drowning in technical debt. Poorly documented platforms compound this frustration, forcing analysts into detective work just to understand how their own systems operate. Far too often, the supposed time-saving features of automation devolve into a productivity black hole. Analysts lose hours unraveling the mysteries of unintuitive interfaces or wrestling with tools meant to simplify their workflows. Automation intended to streamline operations instead becomes another complexity in an already convoluted environment, ironically amplifying the stress it was meant to alleviate. Analysts already battling alert fatigue are forced to divert even more energy to managing their supposedly smart tools, exacerbating burnout rather than mitigating it. Human in the loop, the sweet spot of smart automation. Smart automation isn't about replacing analysts with lines of code or robotic efficiency. It's about augmenting human strengths, creating a balanced partnership where humans remain firmly in charge. In the ideal SOC setup, automation acts as a supportive colleague, taking on mundane tasks while analysts exercise judgment and creativity. Think of humans steering the cybersecurity ship, determining strategic direction, while automation rows the oars, tirelessly handling repetitive routine tasks. The risk-scoring tools exemplify this model perfectly, flagging potential threats while explicitly inviting analysts to review anomalies, rather than blindly trusting software-driven conclusions. Effective alert correlation doesn't eliminate the need for human eyes. It empowers analysts by providing focused, enriched context. Instead of drowning in noise, analysts receive thoughtfully prioritized alerts, enabling quicker, more accurate triage. Analysts remain firmly in the decision-making loop, ensuring no scenario unfolds without intelligent human oversight. Maintaining analyst agency within automated workflows preserves professional fulfillment, keeping analysts engaged and motivated rather than sidelined or disempowered. Collaborative workflows are essential for automation success, ensuring seamless interaction between human analysts and automated systems. The best SOC automation tools cleanly hand off tasks, avoiding confusion and redundant effort. ChatOps integrations, where alerts seamlessly appear within team communication platforms. Streamline escalation, allowing analysts to jump directly into action rather than wasting precious moments tracking information through multiple interfaces. Ticketing systems synchronized with analyst context and enriched with previous human notes create a shared knowledge base, continuously refining the automation's effectiveness and accuracy. Building trust between analysts and automation platforms is equally crucial. Analysts must feel confident relying on automation, knowing exactly how and when automated decisions were made. Transparency in automation's logic reduces the cognitive friction that arises from unexpected outcomes, ensuring analysts see automation as reliable allies rather than unpredictable adversaries. Human annotations and feedback constantly inform and train the automation, creating a continuous loop of improvement that reflects real-world analyst experiences. Automation also plays a pivotal role in nurturing junior analysts, guiding them toward growth and deeper cybersecurity competence. Intelligent triage bots don't just process alerts, they explain their decisions and reasoning, effectively teaching junior analysts on the job. Low-code workflows enable analysts at any experience level to customize automation easily, fostering skill building and encouraging initiative. Shadowing automated decisions allows new analysts to observe and internalize expert logic, developing their intuitive sense for threat detection without overwhelming them with excessive manual labor. Training sandboxes featuring realistic automation scenarios provide junior analysts the freedom to experiment, learn, and refine their judgment safely. Automation, when designed thoughtfully, liberates junior team members from repetitive grunt work without limiting their growth opportunities. Instead, it accelerates their development, giving them time and space to tackle more advanced tasks and build genuine expertise, ultimately preparing them for senior roles within the SOC. To sustain a human-centric approach to automation, SOC leadership must measure metrics that truly matter, metrics that track not only technical efficiency, but also analyst well-being and morale. Rather than obsessing solely over mean time to detect, effective teams measure automation success by employee satisfaction, burnout indicators, and analyst feedback. Dashboards that visualize stress points, workload imbalances, and analyst fatigue provide tangible evidence for leadership to proactively address issues before they escalate into burnout. Finally, a culture of continuous calibration ensures that automation evolves alongside the team, never stagnating or growing misaligned with real-world needs. Frequent tuning and reviews of automation workflows are essential to maintaining relevance and accuracy. Cross-functional retrospectives following incidents reinforce a shared understanding of both successes and shortcomings, allowing automation to remain responsive and effective. Embedding feedback channels into routine SOC processes empowers analysts to voice concerns and offer suggestions safely, supported by psychological safety and collective accountability. Shared responsibility for system success ensures everyone, human and bot alike, remains continuously aligned, engaged, and effective. Signs you're automating burnout, not solving it. When automation begins undermining your SOC team instead of supporting it, a curious symptom emerges: silence. Previously vibrant SOC floors, once alive with analyst chatter, brainstorming sessions, and collaborative problem-solving, descend into quiet rows of disengaged workers, heads down and eyes glazed over. Analysts stop interacting, each locked into their own isolated bubbles, and crucial team brainstorming or informal peer checks become increasingly rare events. Junior analysts, fearing judgment or embarrassment, stop questioning automated outputs, quietly accepting results, even when intuition screams something is off. Experienced analysts, meanwhile, find themselves diverted from genuine security analysis to endless troubleshooting of poorly configured workflows. Instead of using automation tools as intended, senior staff spend hours dissecting broken processes, draining precious time and mental energy away from genuine threats. Over time, this consistent frustration leads analysts, junior and senior alike, to mentally clock out well before the official end of their shift, marking hours on the timesheet without meaningful engagement. Automation's promise of efficiency devolves into a dysfunctional reality, creating robotic teams rather than collaborative, vibrant ones. Another dangerous warning sign lurks within seemingly optimistic dashboards: metrics that lie. When alert closure rates rise impressively, leadership may initially celebrate. But beneath the surface, resolution quality often plummets, with analysts hurriedly clearing tickets rather than thoughtfully investigating threats. SLA compliance metrics further obscure this issue, masking shortcuts taken by analysts desperate to maintain productivity metrics. Mean time to resolution (MTTR) decreases, might look fantastic on paper, yet escalations simultaneously surge, signaling unresolved issues pushed upstream by automation-induced haste. Dashboards glowing green in seemingly healthy metrics hide serious underlying human struggles, burnout, dissatisfaction, or skill erosion. In such environments, success becomes narrowly defined by speed rather than accuracy or insightful analysis. Analysts feel constant pressure to keep numbers up, sacrificing depth for volume. This misplaced emphasis can quickly degrade the core value that analysts traditionally bring to the SOC, the nuanced, thoughtful analysis of complex threats. With automation in overdrive, SOC teams often experience noticeable skill degradation. Analysts, especially those new to the profession, increasingly rely on automation for everything from simple queries to advanced threat detection, abandoning skills like query writing and custom scripting. Over time, critical thinking skills atrophy as scoring engines take over decision-making, leaving analysts without practice in foundational cybersecurity competencies. This reliance on automation hampers analysts' innate pattern recognition abilities, previously sharpened by experience and continuous engagement. When faced with scenarios where automation isn't available, such as tabletop exercises or crisis simulations, analysts visibly struggle. Without automated tools acting as a crutch, analysts find themselves unsure, hesitant, and lacking the confidence to act decisively. A troubling overdependence on black box tools further exacerbates this issue. Analysts begin to view the SOC environment as something magical, where outcomes occur without transparent understanding. The more these skills diminish, the less prepared the SOC team becomes to handle genuine cyber crises. Another clear red flag emerges as workload shifts rather than diminishes, a phenomenon aptly termed workload whack-a-mole. Automation may indeed reduce time spent on one task, only to see that time immediately redirected into busy work elsewhere. Ironically, poorly tuned automation can sometimes trigger even more alerts, drowning analysts under a new wave of noise rather than offering relief. Even after deploying powerful new automation tools, analysts find themselves still pressured to work overtime, grinding through time-saving systems that somehow create more work rather than less. Rather than resolving burnout, automation in such cases merely shifts it, reallocating the stress to other areas of analysts' daily routines. New technologies arrive without corresponding reductions in workload expectations, maintaining headcount pressures unchanged or even increased. Analysts find themselves trapped in perpetual frustration as their promised productivity improvements evaporate, replaced by a relentless treadmill of tasks that automation should have prevented. Finally, one of the most insidious signs that automation is fueling burnout rather than alleviating it is the loss of the analyst's invaluable gut feeling, the intuitive spark that sets veteran analysts apart. Experienced analysts begin losing their finely tuned instincts as automated rules slowly override human intuition. Analysts become hesitant to question the machine, accepting automated verdicts as gospel even when their internal alarms quietly ring. Threat reports become dry, robotic regurgitations of logged data, rather than rich, context-driven stories highlighting investigative insights. Increasingly, security incidents transform into administrative chores rather than intellectual challenges. Analysts lose their sense of agency and investigative passion, replacing genuine curiosity with bland acceptance. The artful human touch disappears, replaced by a dull monotony that automation inadvertently encourages. When veteran analysts no longer trust their gut and begin feeling like glorified data entry clerks, it's clear that automation has gone dangerously astray. Rebooting SOC resilience without burning out. Redefining success within the Security Operations Center, SOC, starts by shifting our core metrics from machine-driven performance alone toward analyst well-being and balanced productivity. Making analyst wellness a key indicator of SOC effectiveness ensures that the human factor isn't neglected amidst rapid-fire alerts and relentless response times. Success can no longer be measured purely by speed, Instead, the quality and accuracy of escalations must become equally important indicators. Balancing machine efficiency with human intuition ensures that alerts aren't just fast, but insightful, actionable, and genuinely relevant. Fewer alerts with deeper context ultimately protect analysts' mental health while preserving organizational security. In designing automation tools, the focus must explicitly shift toward human-centered design, emphasizing interfaces that reduce cognitive load rather than exacerbate it. Analysts benefit from intuitive alert flows that guide them through processes without overwhelming their cognitive capacity. Instead of piling on yet another dashboard or tool, organizations should integrate fewer, more powerful tools that seamlessly interact with one another. Crucially, analysts themselves should have direct input into platform design and workflows, ensuring the resulting user experience genuinely aligns with real-world operational demands. Building automation platforms around empathy, understanding, and anticipating analyst stress points is essential for sustainable operations. Investing in soft skills for analysts has never been more critical. Training focused not only on technical abilities but also on communication, decision-making, and teamwork transforms analysts from passive button pushers into active, engaged, critical thinkers. Scenario-based mentorship programs allow analysts to experience realistic situations in safe, controlled environments, developing both their technical intuition and professional confidence. Encouraging analysts to challenge automated outputs respectfully fosters deeper trust in their own expertise and judgment. Celebrating creative threat detection stories within the SOC emphasizes ingenuity and analytic skill, motivating analysts to grow intellectually rather than stagnate in repetitive tasks. To further protect analysts' well-being, establishing healthy workflows is essential. Shift rotations should incorporate deliberate decompression time, giving analysts a buffer to recover mentally and physically between demanding sessions. Escalation protocols must explicitly guard against analyst overload, ensuring tasks are appropriately distributed to prevent burnout, inducing burdens on any one team member. Shadowing more experienced analysts during incidents allows junior staff to gain critical exposure without the added pressure of immediate responsibility. Clear expectations and boundaries, communicated transparently from SOC leadership, reinforce an environment where balanced, sustainable work practices are respected and encouraged. SOC leaders must themselves model balanced behavior, visibly demonstrating their commitment to healthy workplace practices. When leaders openly value downtime, decompression, and respectful boundaries, analysts feel empowered to prioritize their own health. Leadership that embraces sustainable work habits actively challenges the destructive always-on mentality that plagues cybersecurity culture. In this balanced environment, analysts gain permission, both explicitly and implicitly, to prioritize quality over quantity and mental wellness over mere output. Automation itself must be designed and implemented with deep empathy. Adopting a human-first design philosophy ensures tools enhance analyst productivity without adding undue mental strain. Playbooks and automated processes should undergo regular review with mental health considerations at their core, ensuring they genuinely support analyst workflows rather than simply accelerating task completion. Alert tuning must align realistically with human attention thresholds, acknowledging the cognitive limits analysts face when processing information. Bots must serve as assistants, thoughtfully escalating incidents rather than blindly agitating analysts with incessant notifications. Finally, building automation systems that fully understand and respect the human cost of security work is paramount. Recognizing and actively managing the emotional and psychological demands placed upon analysts keeps automation supportive rather than oppressive. Systems designed with analyst empathy help sustain morale, foster genuine engagement, and maintain the intellectual curiosity necessary for effective threat detection. Automation becomes a true ally, balancing workload while acknowledging and safeguarding the humanity of the analysts who use it daily. Conclusion: Automation in the SOC is neither a magic bullet nor inherently flawed. It is a powerful tool whose effectiveness entirely depends on thoughtful design, careful implementation, and ongoing human oversight. By redefining success to emphasize analysts' well-being, designing technology around human cognition, and fostering a culture of continuous calibration and psychological safety, organizations can transform automation from a burnout amplifier into a meaningful ally. The ultimate goal isn't simply faster threat detection or smoother workflows, but a balanced, sustainable environment where analysts thrive alongside technology, safeguarding their organizations without sacrificing their own health and well-being. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Podcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for bestseller cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure, stay vigilant,